Hello everyone, welcome to the 6th podcast. I can't believe we've made it that far already. Honestly, it seems like yesterday since we started doing these. Nice to see some of you in the chat already. Hi everyone in the cast. Hello.
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 Got one new face this week and one new face that didn't make it. But it's okay, he might be here later. So, as you all know by now, I'm Rose, SpaceFlower, whatever you want to call me. I'm the voice actor for and
Oh, shut up.
and welcome everyone. Nick?
I am Nick, otherwise known as Pecan2, and I'm the voice actor for Mercury.
Hello, friends. Oh, wait, am I good to go now?
Yes, yeah, go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm Scublo. It's my first time on the podcast. It's very exciting. I'm very nervous, actually. Wow, but I'm honored to be here. It's amazing. I'm a team musician. I probably should have said that first, but here we go. It's exciting. I'm happy.
Looks like my turn now.
Yes.
I'm Incognito, also known as yes.
And then there's
And-
I'm a
a blank
musician.
space.
Yes.
Yeah, blank space. Hopefully they'll show up at some point during the podcast. But I am Comiendo, project lead for Soul Studios. I can't spell Earth correctly, apparently, as Rose likes to remind me.
Hurrah. Band.
You mean Ertan, the new protagonist for our show.
It's my OC, guys. Earth 10.
With that, welcome, Scrublord. I hope you enjoy your stay and
I hope so too.
all the first-hand memes that you usually miss out on. I hope everyone gets to know you a bit better as well.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
I don't make myself too known on the server, and it's something that I'm kind of sad about. So hopefully this is kind of the gateway into peeking in a little bit more often than I do.
You start with the podcast, then you move on to the shit posting, and then you're famous.
And then they make.
I'm not even like in the shit posting or the NSFW channels on the server.
Oh.
I'm not.
You are.
So I'm missing out. I feel like I'm missing out on a lot.
You're missing out on the wood glue memes.
We are not. That was traumatizing.
It's too late. It's already been brought up, though, hasn't it?
Oof,
Please.
no more.
Well, I mean, as you're new, in this next kind of segment, we usually talk about what we've done this week, both as a team, what bits we can share, and then individually if anyone actually left the house, because that's quite an exciting event. So, do you want to start? Did you do anything cool this week, both like team-wise and otherwise?
Is that me?
We want to know.
We actually have work. It's amazing. It's a good feeling. Apparently, what we're trying to make is this really this kind of slow, happy theme. You know, the best word I can use to describe it is dinky, and I've been using the word dinky a lot in team chat. I think it's becoming my favorite word, actually, dinky. It just kind of describes the aesthetic of what I feel like this piece of music is supposed to be. So I've been working on a dinky thing. It's currently in the works. I don't know how. We can't share it on stream, right? I guess I can just. But
No.
the music
Really?
art in the story, right? So this is something that if I wanted to, I could like dump it to general and then have people listen to the dinky theme. Or is it something that we should keep hold on to?
I'd say hold on to it, especially if it is something that we're possibly considering as a final.
Oh, that's true. Okay, sure. But
I like,
all right,
I
so
like the technical music term of dinky, though. So.
Yes.
No, yeah,
That
there was a
along
lot of technical terms
Plonky,
this week.
plonky,
Gotta arrange those notes, you know.
Plonky.
Keep arranging those notes.
like, you know, as a musician, you have to learn like a whole slew of like Italian vocabulary to describe what you're doing in your music, right? I think
Spaghetti.
dinky. Oh my goodness.
Spaghetti.
Like
Spaghetti.
vibrato, legato, spiccato, right? All of this like very Italian, like formal sounding stuff, and then we have dinky. You know, I kind of want to. What do you think dinky would like if you made dinky an Italian word? What do you think the Italian translation for dinky would be?
To Google
Spaghetti.
Translate.
Google Translate. But I think dinky is like the actual best word I can think of to describe this. So I've been working on this dinky theme. Oh, and the ED, right? The ED is something
Yes.
Yes,
And that's,
that
I love
everyone's
this
very
ED.
hyped about.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited about this ED. Oh my goodness. And
It
I'm
sounds
very
really
sad that
nice.
apparently I can't share it. But
No,
that's
of course you
it's
can't share it.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's
Spoilers,
all better.
guys.
So I'm gonna like
Plug
bottle up
the
my feelings for the
leaks.
time being,
Plug the
and then when it
leaks.
finally. Oh.
Yeah, but I think I'll be recording some stuff for the final version tonight. So
Tonight even.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a really fun thing to work on. I think it'll sound good. I think it'll be something that I actually like look forward to working on. Since
mean, it does
I can
sound
joke
good
about like,
already.
wow, we have work and shut up. But we have I like joke like, wow, like we have work. It's amazing. But motivating myself to do the work is a completely different beast. And so, but this ED I think is that I think it'll push me to do it on its own.
Oh, it's a good week you've had then.
That's a very good week. Oh, I taught for a while, didn't I?
It's all that true love of the craft, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Passion
from
project.
a voice actor's perspective, I mean, not you, Nick. I'm sorry, we had some work to do this week as well, which is quite exciting. Again, because it's just like we're moving a lot closer to the final project. So we messed around for an hour before the team meeting. You missed out on some extra memes.
Oof.
Yeah, that is.
A lot
That
of
went
questionable
really well.
noises. A lot of questionable noises.
Just
Yeah.
hope Catter doesn't get those for his soundboard.
Nope.
Oh.
Those recording sessions are private.
Yeah.
Private for a reason. Luckily.
Indeed.
Good news.
Have we done anything else as a team this week? Don't think so. Not that we can share, really.
Not really that we can share. There's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I will tease that we are within maybe 2 to 3 weeks of actually starting animation production.
Ooh, wait. Oh,
Wow.
really? That's it. Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The podcast is
Yeah, I actually met with D-Pad, our senior animator guy, yesterday, and we had a meeting with the latest storyboard that we had. We talked through it. We have some edits that we want to suggest, and then next week we'll have a meeting with all of the animators, and hopefully assign roles and get production started either then or the weekend after. So, yes, IR Birdie, amazing speeds. Only 2 weeks. I mean, we've been at this for what, 2 months right now? So 2 weeks isn't that long.
Yeah. I mean, as our production date is literally the year 3000, we're doing pretty nicely.
Way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, way
Right.
ahead of schedule. It's going absolutely perfectly. I mean, I don't know why you'd have any idea otherwise.
But I mean, you have to keep in mind that like we're a community animation project. Nobody's making any money off of this. We're just doing this because we want to. We love the idea
Because we
for the
love
memes,
it, yeah.
etc. So,
I mean, we
and we all
paid
work
memes.
we are paid in memes, but we essentially just do this in our spare time. So we're actually moving, really quite quickly, honestly.
I'm actually surprised at how much work people are putting in.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
when this is
when I like look at the store. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh, when I
Yeah,
don't
wait,
know
wait.
where you'll see in a second.
Who's that one new person? He made like a really good. Oh, oof. Oof.
Professional quality, guys. Don't mind that.
Okay, guys, actual storyboard picture coming up.
When I like look at the storyboard as it is now, it's like, oh my gosh, we're making something. Like, it's really exciting to see it all coming together.
It's very real at this point.
IRB
Yep.
says, well, this whole thing is a meme. Yes, this whole thing is a
Yeah.
meme.
You're not wrong.
That means you
We
should
are
bring out my
individual
picture,
memes
That's the
working
point,
in a
isn't
giant
it?
meme
Bring out my
factory.
picture, Rose. Bring out my picture.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. Okay.
Are you gonna?
Come on.
I'll
If you want stuff like this to be put up in the future, make sure you send it to her before the podcast.
Yeah, otherwise it gets brought up massive like
Oof.
that.
Yeah.
Little sneak peeks and stuff for you, I guess.
Yeah, a little sneak peek of our actual storyboard.
Well, not quite the actual storyboard.
Nat Kraken says, "Nani, no monetization plans?" Question mark.
Can we even talk about those? Or
we're keeping. I'll address that briefly because we did talk about that in the latest meeting. Since we are getting close to release, is that we don't have any plans to monetize it or make it into sort of a business venture at the moment. If we get to that point in the future, we'd love to have like a merch store and perhaps earn money off the videos, but all of that money would either go back into the production itself to buy software licenses, prints, money for panels for conventions, etc., and then any excess money would likely just be donated to environmental charities. Is sort of what we were thinking so far.
That's what we discussed yesterday for a little while.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we all really like the
super
idea
chill,
of like half the love of Earth Chan is refinding our love for this planet. So to be able to actually make a difference.
This is very far off.
Yeah.
Possible future. This is one alternate timeline.
Earth Chan loot boxes. I agree, Nat Kraken. We need loot boxes.
I think
Yes.
Microtransactions are the way to save the planet.
You're halfway through the video, all of a sudden there's a pop-up, pay 50 cents to watch the rest.
Or it's a video of recycling.
Or for 25 cents to get a dice roll to see if you can continue watching.
Or you can only watch it in 480p until you pay us money.
Oof.
That's like an actual business model.
That's
isn't it?
honestly like,
When we're getting
it's
our
a really
Japanese
sucky
dubs,
one,
you
you know.
Crunchyroll.
yeah.
I guess.
But yeah, so that's our sort of, I guess, monetization plans at this point. It's things we want to discuss more in the future. We only have really had maybe 1 or 2 conversations about it at the moment. But as we sort of get closer to releasing actual things, then we're going to talk about it more and just keep it in the back of our minds, thinking about it, I guess.
Like one of the things that was mentioned is that we don't have any long-term plans now, but if we do expect to have long-term plans, then we should start planning for that beforehand.
Yes.
So it's just something to think about. More food for thought than anything for the time being, but better to have food for thought than nothing.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we haven't really. That's about everything we talked about in the team meeting yesterday. So I think that's all we've done as a team this week.
Right.
Me, earlier this week, I actually went to go see a film. I hadn't seen.
Ooh, which one?
I hadn't seen The Greatest Showman yet, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't go to see it earlier because, oh boy, I cried the entire way through.
Oh, no.
Instead, we're going to talk about music this week. Such a beautiful, like such a moving soundtrack. I've been listening to it on repeat. I don't know if you guys see my little Spotify pop up on the side of the server, but I'm usually listening to one of the songs on repeat.
You're giving this thing like such high praise, and I feel bad that I haven't heard of this.
It's based off P.T. Barnum, so one of the guys who pioneered the circus, and it's a double love story as well as self-acceptance within the kind of freaks within the circus.
That's like a triple punch right to the feels.
Yeah,
1, 2.
One of them's a childhood love story, one of them's a forbidden love story. It's absolutely beautiful, and the soundtrack is incredible. So if you guys haven't seen it, Spore Freaks says such a good movie. I saw it on the big screen and I cried the entire way through. So I recommend you see it. That's my recommendation for the week.
It did look interesting from the trailers.
It's very, very beautiful. No one else has done anything cool this week?
Not really. I just played a lot of Digimon, as can be seen from my new profile picture on Discord, the best Digimon.
Does Digimon even exist in 2018?
Yeah, it does.
like I've not heard those words for like 19 years. And
they had a game come out recently, and I do have a 6-movie series right now.
What? What?
It's nice to see you in the chat. Yep. And
Yep.
our buddy, yes, it should make you cry. As I said, I barely stopped crying the entire way through the film. It's like every point when you're like, oh, that it stops being sad, it starts being so happy that you just continue crying anyway. I had to take my glasses off and wipe them at one point in the film because I couldn't see because the tears were just like collecting at the bottom of my glasses.
Oh man.
It was
Wow. I feel like I need to, like, if I go to see this film, I have to like prepare my heart and my soul before I watch it.
Yeah.
Prepare
Like, I have to make
mentally.
like a special like
bring
I have to like fast the day before and meditate and like everything. Like the
bring
whole
some
scene.
tissues.
Prepare your body.
It's really, really wholesome. It's a beautiful film.
I like wholesome. Oh my god. I don't think anything.
Well-
Actually, that's not true. I was trying to recount all the times I've cried watching anime, and then I'm like, oh, I can't really. it's a little
Can't
bit
count
too numerous
many.
of a list.
I cried
Violet Evergarden from this past season.
yesterday twice at the new anime that's coming out this season. Once at the Boku no Hero Academia recap, and then once at Darling in the Franxx. Or like 3 times.
Oh,
at
I
the-
haven't
man,
actually
I
haven't
missed
watched the
out.
new
I
episode of
haven't
Frank.
watched-
I
Oh my
haven't seen
gosh.
that new episode yet.
Okay, both
Oh,
of you,
no.
like, as soon as the podcast is over,
All right.
go get a
I don't-
box of tissues and then watch
Oh
it.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
no.
All right.
Okay. I won't spoil anything other than you need a box of
Okay.
tissues.
I've heard high praise for
Sponsored by-
episode.
It's
13,
probably
but
the best episode that's come out in the season so far. So,
really.
This
Wow.
message sponsored by Crunchyroll.
oh yeah, sponsored by Crunchyroll.
Please,
Please.
if only.
Please accept us. Please put our anime
Please.
on your platform.
We love you,
Yes.
Crunchy.
We want to be on your awards ceremony. That's the only reason. Earth
Please.
Channel. The Earth
Well,
Channel Anime Awards 2019. That's what we're aiming
Oh.
for.
We'll just call ourselves Boku no Earth-chan Academia and we'll win all of the awards.
No, it's
Yep.
Boku,
On
Boku
ice.
no Earth Channel.
On ice, yeah, don't forget the
Yeah,
ice.
Boku no Earth Channel, nice. What a beautiful.
No, every time I hear the words Boku no, I think of something else, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that does not deserve an award, what you're thinking of.
Oh no. There's wait. If I can go on a little bit of a tangent, I have a little bit of a story to share. About this other Boku no.
Oh boy.
This
So-
sounds exciting.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, here we go. So, I went to a boarding high school, right? And in it was basically like college, but in high school. And so when you had classes, if you didn't have a class during a certain time slot, then you were just kind of free to do whatever. And so when I was a senior, there was this place called the Senior U Bench, and it was just like underneath a stairway that went up to the library, and it was where like seniors kind of spent their free time. And so I was there in between classes, just sitting around doing whatever, just nothing really. And one of my friends comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, awesome. Oh, she's like, hey, let's watch anime." I'm like, okay, this is like acceptable. I'm like, okay, this is something that we can do. And so we sit down, and she's like, okay, what are you gonna watch? And I didn't really know. I was like, here, make a suggestion. And she says, Boku no Pico. And keep in mind, this is a very public space that we're in. Like, we're right outside the attendance office.
Boy.
People walk by all the time because it's kind of like right in a junction that splits off into a whole bunch of hallways where people go to class. So there's lots of people kind of like around, and there's people that like seniors at the Senior U Bench as well. And she says, let's watch Boku no Pico right here, right now, right? And like, okay,
Oh my god.
I know about like Boku no Pico like memes and stuff, but I had not actually seen it. I was a fake fan at that point, you know. And okay, what's up? And we started watching Boku no Pico. Like, oh my goodness, that was scary. Both the anime and watching it in public. But
Oof.
I saw it coming. And neither did Pico apparently. So we sat through it, and you know, like episodes of anime like usually run about 20 minutes minus opening ending, right? Something like
Yeah.
that. We got to the 20-minute mark, and I was like, okay, thank goodness that we're finally here. And I didn't realize that episodes of Boku no Pico actually are 30 minutes long. And so we got to this one scene that I thought was like a credits roll, and like, okay, we made it through. We're out of the woods. And then more stuff happened. I was like, betrayed all expectations. I was about ready to throw up. Like, oh my goodness. And so since then, there's 2 more episodes of Boku no Pico that I've yet to watch, and I'm still all for having a team simul watch of Boku no Pico as a bonding experience. I think,
Oh,
like,
no.
I legitimately think it's a good idea.
Hey, come
No.
on, live Twitch reaction next podcast.
Live
Oof.
reaction to Boku no Pico.
I don't think we'll be doing that anytime soon.
Probably not.
Yeah,
3
no.
million views. No.
3. Oh boy.
More like
If we hit that 10 million subscriber mark, then yes.
Oh, 10 million.
yeah, 10
Only.
million.
Yeah, you guys can write that down. 10 million subscribers will watch that.
Oh no.
All right.
Someone put it in voice text.
Oof. Banned from Twitch. Oof.
With that
Yeah.
tangent
I'll
over
move
and
it.
done with, we will go back to the very, very strict itinerary that I totally keep for these things. You guys have actually been quite active in chat today already, but just a reminder that this is also like a Q&A thing, so if you have any questions or anything, anyone new, whatever, if you want us to notice you, I don't know.
I'll be your senpai. Send questions.
Oof.
Okay. So we kind of already had a tangent about it earlier when we were just talking about this week, but you may... What on earth is that? I'm scared.
Oh no, he clipped that. I'm done. I'm so done.
It's over. We're being held to standards now.
That's
Oh, no.
probably
Oof.
yeah.
Oh
Oof.
no.
Over.
Anyway,
GG.
We have 2 musicians on the podcast this week. They actually... No, they don't
Hello.
outnumber the voice actors, but nearly. You guys are like, represent.
Wow.
So,
Incredible. Incredible. What a turnout.
Oh.
in response to Black Raven's question for how do I steal the Declaration of Independence, that's easy. You just have to transform yourself into Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
Oof.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's like
Simple.
doable levels.
Hey, you have to find the map on the back. Generic test. You have to
Easy.
find the map on the back.
All right. I wrote the 10 million thing in voice team chat.
Very
Some
Some
good.
go pin it.
Oh no.
I'm on it.
All right.
Voice
Are we going to
text
talk about
channel.
music then, or?
Problems with it.
Oof.
It's a race!
Oh, there
My
we go.
computer's lagging because of the stream.
Oof.
Oh, you did
I
it.
got it.
Rip.
Yeah.
I lost.
All right. But anyway,
Music.
Right.
We mentioned the ending. We mentioned like this dinky track. Tech's been working on some things as well, which sound cool. Like, we will catch up with you, SLG. We will get an OST.
Oh my goodness. It's on its
It's on its way. And
right. Watch your backs.
ours is going to be better because we're going to make a cry version of every single track as well. That has been officially promised. Kata has
Oof. All right.
made that.
so
clear.
look forward to random screaming plus amazing soundtracks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next April Fools if we make it that far.
You know, the
Boy.
2 things, screaming and the soundtrack, they're not mutually exclusive, you know?
That's true. Although I think
This is
there's enough
fair.
screaming in the show. I mean, you have screaming in the soundtrack
Oh, boy.
and screaming in the show. It's just,
Oof.
that's like
All right.
Cry Me to the Moon and back.
I think the whole cat thing is like when we put out the OST, we're gonna put out a second version of the OST that's exclusively Catter's screaming version of the
Yep.
OST, and we're gonna market them as 2 separate entities.
Scream and
Entirely
non-scream version.
The second
Right.
one is the drama disc.
Side
That's just
B,
us screaming.
Side B.
Yeah,
I think a drama disc would be quite cool. If
that
we-
would be pretty fun,
if we
actually.
release an OST for every like it would be like a track and then a drama track and then a track and then a drama track.
Oh, man.
And the drama tracks would just be memes.
Oh boy.
Mars is its best her
Uh,
pretending to be Alex Jones.
In response to Nat Kraken's question of English or Japanese, English, probably.
Nihon. Nihon.
That
Now, if we try to do Japanese vocals for tracks, we're going to end up with something like the Nyanoko Sugar Girls opening, and I don't know if anyone wants that.
But there are even
Oh,
like you've got like what's that old Black Butler one that's in English? Like Urine Ice has its opening in English. It won't sound too
Yeah.
out of place, especially
No.
because it's going to be a dubbed show, and one of my pet hates is when it's like when they have an idol anime and it's like they're singing in Japanese and then they just cut to English in the middle of the song because they have a conversation in the middle, and it's like, why? This is not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
Breaking the immersion.
Okay, as we are like speaking from the voice actor's point of view, I don't think any of us are confident enough to sing in Japanese.
Yeah, definitely not.
I feel like we're not gonna completely butcher it and make everyone cry. So
I mean, if
English
we
is
are
just-
going for kind of skills and making people cry, then I think the Japanese version of the OST would do the trick, wouldn't it?
well, we can just like
Fua fuari, fua fuari.
I think we're mistaking cries of pain and cries of joy.
Right, but it's tears either way.
What's the difference?
you should have
Full of my-
English subtitles, even though it's an
But
English
no
dub.
idea what the
I
source was.
I think we're gonna do that as part of like the YouTube subtitles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should open the like community suggestions for subtitles, because there's been a few times where I'm like, oh, I could sub this video, and then no. I mean,
Right.
I don't think
Oh,
I'd
is
have
it not open?
No, I don't think so. It's never been
Oh.
open when I've tried. I mean, I don't think I have the patience to go through and subtitle all of the podcasts, but the update videos I could do at least. Do a separate
Hey,
American
yeah.
and British one.
Hey, Nutcracken, if your translators aren't doing anything, you can send them over to that then.
And we'll steal your workforce while we're at it too. Do not, he says.
I mean, you never took me up on my offer of Latin translations.
I think the translations for that game became quite a bit of a meme.
All they do
Why
is
did
manage it, but let me come back in.
That sounds like our team.
It's
Sounds like our
crucially
team.
important if we ever make a time machine that we're able to show the ancient Romans what Earth-chan is all about.
Yes.
Oh man.
What's that
That's-
that language that they speak in I think it's the Teletubbies? Don't they have their own language in the Teletubbies or something like that?
What?
Or the
Teletubbies?
Sims, they have their own language.
There's a guy that I know that can speak the Teletubby language. Like he's like fluent. He and his sister are both fluent in it, and they speak to each other in it when they
Okay.
don't want
Fluent.
to.
I don't
That's
know.
amazing.
I don't know
Why?
if you had different Teletubbies, but the Teletubbies that I watched literally just say stuff in baby English, because it's like and then it's like
Maybe I'm thinking of a different show. It's
bebop,
that-
and then they're like
Okay.
spider gone one way and stuff like that. Like
Are you thinking about like kind of like Star Trek, like Klingon or something, or
it's like from a kids show, you know.
I mean,
like-
the Teletubbies speak in broken English pretty much, as far
Yeah.
as I know.
It's got all memories of the Teletubbies for a good reason. So
Well, I've just gone into the channel
don't bring
and
back the bad memories.
I went to the YouTube channel and enabled community contributions. So if you guys want to translate it to random languages, feel free.
Also,
wonderful.
I have something to do with my free time when I'm procrastinating doing the podcast things. That reminds me of something earlier we were talking about the update videos. I just want everyone to know that Neptune and I had a really, really cool plan for this week's update video, but Com mucked up the schedule, so now you have to wait until St. George's Day.
We have more than one video editor, and I wanted to spread the work out a little bit. I had no idea that's what you guys were doing. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm only half playing. I just like you guys look forward to St. George's Day. I think that's on a Monday. I don't know.
All right.
Only half playing, she says. That means there's half of her that isn't, and it's genuinely upset.
No. I understand, and I'm sorry.
I spent half an hour and I lost my voice for half the day.
Oh,
Oh,
I feel bad.
What have you done?
It's cool.
I have
You're a
accidentally
monster.
messed up everything again.
You're a monster.
That's some effort put exactly where it needs to be.
The minute I put some effort into trying to spread the workload out a little bit, I mess everything up.
You just put the universe out of balance.
Wow.
Everything is just falling through space-time. We'll end up in a different
Oof.
place. It's okay. Look forward to our secret project, guys. I mean, it's not it. It's,
Even the project lead doesn't know what it is, so it's super secret.
Oof.
Conspiracy.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Oh yeah,
I want
has
to know.
kind
anyone
of
not
scared.
seen the April Fool's thing yet?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually true. If you have not seen that, go watch it right now.
gotta-
Dude, wait,
It's
it's
worth
not.
Tom,
Oh boy.
Thomas 20021023 says there's someone missing. Our mystery guest, who we have not named yet, I believe, and so will not name,
Mhm.
mucked up
You know,
how to
it's-
time zone, and so we'll be here later.
It's kind of like how Stalin would like edit out people who he killed from pictures. And Oof.
I mean,
Oh my-
I don't think I have him down as doing anything bad in the logs, but we'll see.
No,
Oh, that reminds
If-
me, another thing to mention. We got a new animator yesterday. So,
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
Oh yeah.
out of the blue, kind of, but like, welcome to the team and stuff. I don't know if you're watching. He's really talented. I don't know if it's a he. But yeah.
yeah, it's a he.
Trap.
It's a trap.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Is he-
No
YouTube
more
channel's
traps. Oh
He's
my
got
god.
like 11K
Not
subs
the
too.
traps.
That's so good for promo.
And he's actually streaming on Twitch right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like doing something. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
we can go raid him after. We can go stream raid him after the stream is done.
Submit.
So yeah, he's incredibly talented. We're like the stuff he was producing just like hours after joining the team, I was like, damn, okay. Like
Yeah,
You're showing us
it
a
looked like a
lot.
final frame. He made like a finalized frame. It was like wrong called skin color, but it was super good.
Yeah.
so
So to answer a few questions that popped up, if Ben is short for Benjamin, is Glenn short for Glenjamin? Yes. Did they just
Is this
assume
like-
his gender? No, I've talked to him. Raid, yes.
we will
Yes.
raid his art stream afterwards and not be sad about it. But yeah, if you want to go see stuff about him and find his links, it's in #meettheteam. And his quote, which I quite like, is I'm used to drawing half-naked girls, so this will be a challenge.
Half-naked girls or half-naked
Did not
girls?
see that
Half-naked girls
yet.
or half-naked guys? I think it's
It's
half-naked
guys. He had a typo and had me change it.
Oh,
Yeah. It's still pretty
That's
good
all the
though.
better.
so I actually can't wait to meet him. He seems really cool. So
Right.
hopefully, maybe we can invite him on the podcast next week. Who knows?
Next week is an Australian podcast again, right?
Should be.
Yeah, he's American, I believe.
He's an
We'll make him wake up
co-
at 3 in the morning. It's fine. He has to get used. If he wants the memes, he has to get used to it.
Oof.
oh.
Memes
the
are
price
worth
to
it.
pay, right? It's well worth it, I'm sure.
Indeed. All right.
Secret.
So
If you guys don't have anything else to talk about music-wise, we don't really have anything else official we can do at the moment. So
Wait, did we end up talking about music?
We
Uh,
can-
we-
we
were-
I mean, that was the music
was
segment.
brought
We
up.
didn't talk about music at all. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to talk about music, you go ahead.
Are we gonna be like team music or just music in general? Since I can talk until your ears bleed about just music in general,
Oof.
but I don't.
I'd say
That will
probably
be
keep it
amusing
somewhat
to my
related.
ears.
Yeah, what we've done in the past, if you guys want to talk about that, is talking about our favorite soundtracks of things and our favorite music, and then
Oh wait,
how we can relate
I
that
have
back.
I have a good question. Good
Mhm.
question. What is your music creation process? Scrub.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so piano is like far and away the instrument that I'm most confident on. So I just like sit down at a piano and start playing stuff because they say music is a combination of notes. If I remember correctly.
God.
It's
Right.
No, here's the thing though, is that you're not wrong. you're really not wrong. And so you sit at a piano, kind of play some stuff, and once you get some stuff that you like, you record it on your phone so that you don't forget. Because if you forget something, it's like forgetting a dream, and then you're really upset, right? So, like, you do that. Or I had a teacher that said he would come up with all of his ideas in the shower, which is like a classic thinking space. And then he would keep a notebook like on the stand next to him in the shower. If he came up with an idea, he would scribble it down while he was showering, and then go back to
Can I
showering.
just interrupt? I got a Google Pixel 2 because it's
Oh.
completely waterproof. Because I come
Wow.
up with all my ideas in the shower, and it means what I do when I'm thinking of questions for the podcast. I'll like leave my phone like outside the shower, and I'll be like, "Oh, I've got one," and then I like pick up my phone and write it in notes, and it's so much nicer than having a soggy notebook. But yeah.
Sponsored by Google TM.
Yeah. Oh my god, I will.
Please, Google.
So like you just ideas come very spontaneously, and so once that happens, you jot it down, you record it in some kind of way, and then at that point, I sit down. FL Studio is my DAW of choice, and you kind of just put into FL Studio as best as you can, and then you kind of work around with it afterwards. FL Studio is really nice in that it's a very visual interface. So if you want to, you can like look at all the meters and like all of like the bends and stuff, and see where your noises are, and kind of tuck things down or boost things up however you need to. But they like if music, like no one else is going to see that, so you use your ears. Your ears are the most important tool, and so if you just it's like worth it every so often to sit down, just like close your eyes and just listen to what you've got going, and then see how it all works out. It's kind of philosophical. I might be dramatizing it a little bit more than it actually is. Like half of music, or not even half, probably about 80% is me just like sitting down with my head in my hands thinking about what's supposed to happen. But the other 20% is when all the fun stuff happens. So that's what you look forward to.
A few bits in chat. Steve Curran says, "My brother and I do terrible a cappella movie themes. Much spittle is involved." I don't think there's anyone in this world who hasn't at least once done a terrible a cappella movie
The
theme
movie theme,
or
yes.
a cappella anything. I don't think there's
It's
a
fun.
single girl in the entirety of England that hasn't sat in a classroom and sung the entirety of High School Musical one lunchtime. If you say you haven't, you're lying, because I know you have. And then he also said, "I come up with many of my engineering designs whilst in the shower," which is quite cool that you do engineering stuff from a fellow physics brain. That's awesome. But yeah, the shower is like the most wonderful place because it's warm and you're all clean and you have to concentrate on not falling over. But then when you're not
wait, what do you do in the shower that you have to concentrate on not falling over?
Okay, I have really bad balance and really bad ankles, so sometimes I have to just
What a
try
combination.
really hard to stand
Oof.
up. But then when I'm not trying hard to stand up, then I'm always like getting ideas.
No, I came up with a fair few of the actual episode and script ideas and little shorts that I've made in the shower as ideas. I can't write them in the shower, so I have to get out of the shower for that, but the ideas come from them. No, I can't just sit in the shower with my laptop and write.
You just come up with an idea, you just dive right out of the shower. I gotta write this down.
It's a weird thought because a lot of the other like funny jokes that I've helped with the anime usually come when D-pad and I are bouncing off each other. So maybe if we were both in the shower, that would be like. But then that's like the weirdest thing to say.
Hold on.
I don't know why.
Okay,
Slightly odd.
It's like, no, we just need like a group team shower and then we'll have the most productive. Wait, that's just a swimming pool, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure we'd get arrested.
We could just go to like a water park and
Oh yeah,
That's better.
yeah,
Right.
it'd be fun.
yes.
Just like if you're trying to emulate the shower, then wouldn't like a hot tub be like the best equivalent, right?
Ooh.
But then can you just imagine like us as a team all sitting in a hot dog club?
A hot dog.
Perfect.
Oh,
Excuse me.
hot dog.
Oh boy. Well, this is what a surprise.
Someone's got to
that was
draw
not
that.
what I.
One of you get
Oh,
on
no.
it. I know this.
Draw
Alright.
all 30 team members in one hot dog.
It's 31 now. It's 31.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no, it was 29
wait.
before, I believe.
Wait, hot dogs are like lateral, right? That makes for a good YouTube banner, right?
I mean,
Hot
Oh.
dog.
YouTube channel banner.
oh,
But
that would
like,
be
Hey,
That's
next
such a good idea.
next stream. Just have the hot dog in front of everyone.
Hot dog.
Oh no, I'll completely edit the avatars so they all like are covered in ketchup and stick them in the hot dog.
what have I done?
Just looks like we've all been killed. We're covered in ketchup.
It's ketchup.
You know, if you are in Chicago, it's completely unacceptable to put ketchup on a hot dog unless you're like 5 years old.
Yep. Can
Right.
confirm.
That's weird.
It's all mustard and onions and pickles. and stuff. But Chicago style hot dogs are amazing, so I don't have any gripes.
No, they're fantastic.
You can change the type of hot dog per.
I'm pretty
per
sure I went to
stream.
Chicago and put tomato on a hot dog.
I'm
Like,
not.
Oh,
a,
like-
a
like an
tomato
actual, like,
itself
slice.
is fine.
Right. In
tomato
fact, I think
ketchup.
Chicago style.
No, we
Oh.
call it tomato. We just
Oh,
You were probably scorned unknowingly by a lot of people. Then.
they
Because
just
it was like
assume
the
you're a
only thing I
tourist.
like on a hot dog.
I mean, I might have actually been 5, so that's probably.
Oh.
Well, then you're fine. And they just
Okay.
instantly assume you're a tourist. I'm from Chicago, so
First studio purchase, studio space. Second studio purchase, on
hot spring
onsen.
onsen. Yeah.
Onsen.
A large bun.
I was gonna get to
Oh,
large
no.
bun, but I got stuck on whatever that says.
Onsen,
Onsen.
What's that?
like
That's like
a hot spring
Public
bath.
You
Oh.
haven't heard of that before?
No, I'm a
Do you
fake
even watch
queen.
anime?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm a fake queen.
What's that one line?
Dub
Gohan
only
needs to
watcher
do that.
confirmed.
Onsen needs to do. Ofura needs to do that. Something like. So it's not onsen. My day. I'm misremembering. That's one of my.
Oof.
Pensurade. Pensurade.
I was even saying when hot dog came out of my mouth. I was
All 31 team members sitting in a hot tub.
in a hot tub.
5 feet
I-
apart.
Yes.
The net game.
Right. So, so imagine it's a bunch, all of us in a hot tub, deep in thought. You know, it makes for like.
We need a pretty big hot tub.
Or
Can
we
imagine
just
that
need to
is-
sit on each other's laps or something. You know, it's like
I mean, we could do that.
that podcast when I had to fit 10 people on the screen and everyone was holding hands. Be like that.
Well, that was a friendship moment.
Totally not gay.
Rar says, if we're gonna keep on the topic of hot dogs, look up rules set by the hot dog committee because there is one, of course. I don't know if there's actually is about if there's a hot dog committee, but I wouldn't be
There
surprised.
probably
He says,
is,
if
honestly.
I remember correctly, there's a rule in there about the number of bites you can take out of a hot dog.
Who's gonna here's the thing though, who's gonna enforce that? Who's gonna punish you if you take too many or too few bites?
The
of
hot
a
dog
Hot dog
police, of
police.
course.
I mean, they had the sandwich
you
police,
got
so of
me.
course they
It's
have the hot dog police.
yeah.
open up!
Oh my goodness.
But actually, that's a good question to ask. Just to get a consensus of: is a hot dog a sandwich? What do you think?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
The point at which I
It's
make
gonna
or break.
stir up some controversy.
I would
Oof.
say no, a hot dog is not a sandwich because the differences between a hot dog and a sausage bap and a sausage sandwich are very vast. So, like, a sausage bap is not a sausage sandwich, so then a hot dog can't be a sandwich because a hot dog is closer to a sausage bap than a sausage sandwich.
What is a sausage bag? Forgive us Americans.
It's like a sausage sandwich, but it's in a bap instead of.
Ooh.
Oh, wait,
never-
but you don't know what a bap is.
Yeah, we don't know what it's about.
I don't know. How do you explain
yeah,
what
we
bap
got
is?
that there was a
Okay.
sausage involved somehow.
Right. Okay, if you're up north, then literally any kind of bread is a bap. But in the south, a bap is like. I guess.
It's basically it looks like a baguette cut in half, kind of.
No, that's not a sausage.
Spaghetti.
No.
What?
No. A bap
Oh,
is.
then Google lied to me.
A bap is like. Okay, so a sausage bap is if you took like a burger bun, I guess. It's like a burger bun. It's like
Yeah.
a long flat roll, and then you put sausages in it. But then you can also have a bap where like a traditional bap wouldn't be. It's like a burger bun, but like half of it's joined, so it's almost like a really soft taco made out of roll with sausages in it.
Yeah, but
That's not
I
really-
would,
okay, I'm looking at
based on that description, I would call that a sandwich.
Right, it
But
looks
that's
like a
that's
sandwich.
not a sandwich. That's a bap.
What?
But that,
Wait,
that
is
just
it-
seems
wait,
pointless. That's a
is it-
sandwich.
A bap is a type of sandwich, but not all. Okay, all baps are sandwiches, but not all sandwiches are baps. But then a
Wait,
hot dog isn't a sandwich;
What?
it's a bap.
What you just said.
I
If it's
mean,
a bap,
I'm
then it's
just
a sandwich.
basing it on the fact that there's a piece of meat between two pieces of bread, connected or no. Like a Subway sandwich, for example. Those are connected pieces of bread, yeah?
Yeah, but
Mhm.
a Subway sandwich
Right.
isn't a bap. That's like a.
But what if you put a hot dog in a Subway sandwich? Is that still a sandwich or is it a hot dog?
It's a hot dog panini. 'Cause Because Subway uses paninis, right? Or like what the flat ones?
Sometimes.
They're like
You have the option to get a
they're like
get a press.
Yeah.
Like a panini press.
pancreta, something. Someone in France is gonna like shoot me for murdering that pronunciation. Pan, something like that. It's like a panini, but the ends got dropped, so it's like flat.
That's like the first kind of picture that
But yeah,
Google
it's
showed
like,
me.
yeah, I guess that was not really a bap, because bap shouldn't be crusty, and paninis are crusty.
I don't know.
Like,
I guess
entirely
it's just
soft.
kind of a culture thing.
But
Because
like if I was if there was like hot dog buns left over, right? But I only had more sausages. I didn't have hot dogs, so I put a sausage in a hot dog bun. I would call that a sausage bap. It wouldn't be a hot dog because it's not a hot dog, and it wouldn't be a sandwich because it's in a bap bun. So it'd be a sausage bap. So doesn't that make a hot dog a type of bap instead of a type of sandwich? This is the stupidest debate ever.
Well, I
Great
think
hot dog debate of 2018.
the big
Just name that
issue we're
episode.
having here is that BAPs don't exist in America, so I'm jumping straight from hot dog to sandwich, whereas you have something in the middle that divides the two.
If you put a
It's a
hot
gradient
dog
that
in
we
a
don't have.
taco, would you call that a sandwich or a taco?
We don't call tacos in.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No.
Well, yeah, I'd probably call it a
Wait.
taco.
Taco.
I guess that's an
It's like,
equivalent
I
argument.
don't think you could ever make a sandwich out of a tortilla, right? Like if it has a tortilla, it's not a sandwich.
No, then it's a quesadilla. It's not a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So if you have a bap bun instead of a piece of bread, then it's not a sandwich, it's a bap bun.
All right, fair enough.
I'm just not gonna. It's
These
thought.
are the true questions we need to.
Oh boy.
The real mysteries of life.
This
It's
will
about when
haunt
I
me
go-
to the grave.
All right.
Yeah, these are really
It's kind of
important.
like, is Bruno Mars is gay?
Is Bruno Mars gay?
Yes. Exactly.
Classic.
Is it a quesadilla if it's not warm? No, it's just a cold quesadilla.
Oof.
But then, okay, never. If
It's a quesadilla you didn't eat fast enough, Link.
It's all foods, says Kerman. Is there even any point in kind of dividing up food like this? And this like it's so elitist, you know.
No, there's really no point.
Oof.
Well, no,
Right. If it tastes good, then I don't care.
But a sausage sandwich
Truth.
tastes slightly better than a sausage bap in some situations because you can toast a sausage sandwich.
Oh, we're still talking about this.
Because you
Oh my
can toast
goodness.
a sausage sandwich, but you can't toast a sausage bap. So like a toasted sausage sandwich is better than a sausage bap.
Wait, what would happen if you
This is
tried to
like
toast a
or
sausage
something.
bap?
Oh my goodness.
You could toast a sausage bap if you like put the whole thing in the oven, I guess. But a sausage bap wouldn't like the bap wouldn't fit in the toaster. So you could grill it, but then that would be like grilled sausage bap. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna make myself a grilled sausage bap tomorrow.
All right.
At this
Anyway.
point, Tom, you need to
I'm
name
happy
this
that we made
episode
this
The Great
for you.
Hot Dog Debate of 2018.
Right.
So after that music discussion,
Yes.
and I point out
Of course.
we were still on the music
Music to
topic
my ears.
that whole time.
Wait, what?
Right.
We were
I think-
still like just meant to be discussing music. That was probably
What?
the most off topic.
What?
That's the most off topic we've got since Com had a rant about public transport.
And then I said hot dog instead of hot tub, and then hot tub itself was already a little bit off because of showers. So I think I should, if we're trying to get back on track, then I think I should bounce the question back to Incog then, right? Like, what do you do?
Oh, wait for like music creation.
Right, or just music in general. Do you have any like little quirks that you pick up on? Or...
What do I do? That's such a good question. I don't know. Like, I just have my guitar. I don't really do any like electronic music sort of things. So I'm just like playing on that. It's my room. It's fun. That's
Right.
about all I do. I don't know. I
It's
just
like
kind
all
of,
you need, really. It's not like you need to have like a DAW or anything to work with. Like,
yeah.
as long as
I
you
don't know.
make stuff that sounds good, then it sounds good, right? And then the
Yeah.
DAW is what you do to make it sound better, but it's not necessary entirely.
I don't know. It's literally for me just like throwing some notes, arranging those notes.
Right.
The thing is though, I have a lot of like cliches from the music I listen to because like I listen to a lot of like rock and blues stuff. So like they all follow like the same. A lot of them follow the same scale, and
Right.
same sort of chords. So I just kind of
You can
those
see that
things
in the music
together.
that you submitted for like the team stuff. Like it's really cool actually that you can see where people's influences come from in music, right? Like in Cog, like you could just hear some of the stuff he plays, and you're like, oh, he's a like classic rock blues kind of player, right? That does a little bit of jazz on the side.
Yeah.
From the stuff that I do is like motivated almost entirely by classical with a little bit of jazz like tossed in there. Which is why, like, when I give feedback on the stuff that people post in music, whenever that happens, Tech's putting a lot of stuff out, which makes me very happy since it gives me stuff to talk about. There's like, I'm kind of rooted in. Well, I don't want to say rooted, but I've got this kind of a school of thought going on where a lot of my formal training in music kind of comes into play. So I'm going to toss around a lot of like technical terms and lots of like little tiny nitpicks, right? But
Dinky.
and like
Dinky.
important but rules for music and like composition, they exist for a reason. It's because they sound better that way. The thing is though, is what ultimately matters is like how the listener perceives it. And so I can be as technical as I want, and I can write the most technically accurate and like perfect, beautiful piece that you've ever heard. But if it ends up sounding really disgusting, then there was no point, right? So there's for instance, like one example I can think of. There's this one like mid 20th century composer named Schoenberg, who came up with this thing called the 12-note scale. So music works on like at least like traditional Western music, right? Works on this 12 tone scale where you go from A to A, right? And there's kind of 12 notes in between. And Schoenberg's 12-tone scale is like when he composes, he's like, every time I play one of these 12 notes, I can't play that note again until I've hit the other 11. And so I mean, that's like the rough thing that he follows. And so the music that he gets is very technical. Like, it's very calculated, but it sounds like complete garbage because you're trying to hit all of these notes in the scale at the time, right? Like, at a time.
It's
And so,
so
like,
out of key.
right. And so you can kind of like you can imagine like people that study music kind of sit down and they furrow their brows over it. They look like friggin' like Gendo from like Evangelion, just kind of sitting there, right? And they're like analyzing it, like right, but like no one's ever gonna listen to it in their free time. No one listens to Schoenberg like to relax, right? So
Oof.
it's music made by an elitist for elitists, and like, it's good that that's out there, I guess. But like to the average person, or just to like the 99.9%, like Schoenberg is like
it's just
right at
not
the bottom.
entertaining.
Right, right. So I can give all the technical feedback that I want to in team chat, but I think what's ultimately more important is for the people that actually don't do music to give their feedback, because most people don't do music, and so that's how it's going to be perceived. Because I've got this, I can look at it from a musician's perspective, but I don't have the capacity to look at it from a non-musician's perspective. So getting that extra pair of ears on there that isn't as like tempered or isn't as strict as mine is extremely important, I think.
I do my best. I come from a dance and theatre background, so mine's like slightly different. Because when I'm listening to your music, I'll be like, "Can I dance to this? Yes, no." if it's yes, I'm like, "This is a good piece of music." If it's no, I'm like,
Paragraph incoming.
meh.
Maybe not.
So
Yeah,
do you use the same metric for all music though? Like for OST tracks, background music, try dancing to like.
I don't know, because I've done a lot of different types of dance. Like, I come primarily from classical ballet, but I've done lots. I've done tap. I've done this. I did Chicago last year. Like, I've done quite a lot of different things. So it's generally like, if I feel like, because dance is my way of expressing like how music makes me feel. So if I feel like I can dance to it or move to it in some way, like, that means that the music is fluid in my head. So it means like it makes me feel something. And so if it doesn't, it's kind of just like, what is the point of this, you know? Like,
right.
Yeah, for me, I think it's interesting because I think like me and Scrubboard are kind of like in some ways music-wise are like polar opposites.
Yeah.
Oof. Like I don't know. I started music like a super long time back, but even when I did it, I think I started with like piano super long ago. And
What,
then
you used
I
to play
moved on to
piano?
like,
Wow.
yeah, super long ago. like I can still play like Some for Elise just because I memorized that song so much. And then there's like like piano for like when I was really young, and then I moved on to like violin for like 6 years. But like even during then, I never got like the theory trainings. It was a lot of like just learning classical songs and learning how to play that good. And I would even go into like competitions sometime. But and then all of a sudden, like during high school, like I don't know, I never really liked how that was for me. And in high school, I just basically did not play violin as much because it just wasn't that fun to me. And I was just like, oh mom, it's because I'm busy at school, I can't play violin, Ugh. But then and then just like eventually I like picked up guitar. And it's been like 1.5 years since I started playing guitar, but it's been really fun. And I've just been really influenced by people who do like improv, who like just really don't follow like the traditional, like classical music thing.
Bad.
Like one of my favorite guys, like musically, is Jimi Hendrix. Bro, but that dude never had a musical training, but he's still like one of the greatest rock musicians, and like one of the greatest like guitarists of all time. And I think he was like a big influence to me. And I'm trying to do the best I can to kind of get up to his level. That's never gonna happen, but get close, maybe.
I think if you've only been playing for a year and a half, you're doing pretty well, because
Yeah, for sure.
your guitar
Right.
jam sessions always make me smile.
Oof. I
Yeah.
do enjoy it.
But we've actually been talking about music for quite a while now, so I think it's fair to say we can move on, because otherwise we're not gonna. We can talk about music forever, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I'm wondering which to do.
I'm free to discuss in general chat later, by the way.
Yep.
So, give me whatever inquiries you have, and I'll do my best to get to them.
Okay. I think because we've got less time, I'm gonna skip one of my points and leave that for next week. So, let's do 2 kind of word games, but so obviously we'll do the one word story later, but it's just another word game that I came across when I was just trying to think of other ideas. Totally not copying Jack's films. So it's basically I'm gonna say
What are we,
like,
PewDiePie now?
oh yeah, totally. We're totally as famous as both of them. I say like a word or a concept thing, and try and describe it in 4 words.
Oh no.
We'll go along the line as usual. So I can go first. I've got a few written down, but if like we can probably spend about 15 minutes on this, so if you guys have like other examples and stuff, then feel free to suggest them afterwards. I haven't actually thought about this much myself, so this could be quite difficult. The first one I have is the internet, to start nice and easy. So describe the internet in 4 words. Give you a minute to think.
This is a tough one.
So do we each have to describe it in 4 words?
Yeah, if
Okay.
everyone does it separately.
Oh, I got one.
Okay, you go first then.
Cat and/or girl ludes.
That's a good one. I was just gonna say memes. Leave it at that.
That's pretty good.
Oh, I'm bending the rules of conventional English grammar a little bit.
Sure.
Here we go. All right. If existent, also porn.
I mean, fair enough.
A lot of our responses are the same because of what I'm gonna say. Everything is lewd. Help.
Help.
My
All the
because mine was kind of a cop out. I've got old people Facebook sometimes.
Oh, see, Kerman's response is pretty good. All information, mostly porn. Oof.
Yeah, that's what we're all thinking of.
That's true.
Yeah.
For good reason, unfortunately.
Memes,
Yep.
trolls, rule 34. Calm, I believe we're waiting on you.
How about being an ass online?
Oof.
Perfect.
Unfortunate, but true.
Okay, the
Oof.
next topic is quite a big jump. Describe primary/elementary school in 4
Oh, no.
words.
Oh, I've repressed all memories of this.
Oof.
This
How
one's gonna be pretty
about-
edgy. I got the edgy one.
Okay.
Oh
Alright.
boy.
School shootings happen here.
That's super edgy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. dude.
Sorry, guys.
Holy shit.
I didn't even think of that when I was thinking of topic.
Well, of course you
Sorry,
didn't think of that.
sorry.
That was terrible.
Sorry.
There's not even a thought that crosses my mind.
Damn.
That's a good thing.
Wow.
Sorry.
I don't want to follow this up. I don't want to. Oh my goodness.
So, like, this is specifically like primary elementary school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I guess it doesn't have to be. It's not like I did the other schools. It's just I haven't finished high school yet. I guess it probably won't make sense to Americans, but if there's anyone else British watching, they'll get this. Ball on roof. Mess.
What? What?
We every lunchtime we play football outside, and every lunchtime someone would kick the ball on the roof of the school, and then the entirety of the whole playground that was playing football would just turn around and scream "Miss!" at one of the dinner ladies because we call all our teachers Miss something, but it's too much effort to say Miss and then the dinner lady's name, like nobody knows their names, so everyone just screams Miss. So I'd be like, the ball's on the roof. Oh no, Miss! Really loudly. That pretty much sums up primary school.
Oof.
All right, this one's more personal than anything, but here goes. Kumon makes me sad.
Kumon.
Kumon.
So that's some kind of like,
it's
Oh,
like
that
prep
thing.
place,
The
right?
tutoring. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
where you go and you pay to get extra homework,
Oof.
basically. You know, I
How
actually.
about, here's mine. I'm glad I'm out.
Yeah.
Right.
Here-
Oh, and I meant to go back.
I got mine. Your actions have consequences.
That's good.
That's a good one.
So sad, some stupid things you do as a child that mess you up even today.
True enough.
Dark
Okay,
times.
The next one I've got written down. There's a few in chat. I think we'll get to those afterwards because I have got a few written down. I think it'll be quite funny. The first one is summer. Summer. Don't
Ooh.
start singing High School Musical. Let's not say it any more times.
We won't sing it, but what about the Phineas and Ferb?
Well, it's just because if you say summer like multiple times in a row, my head instantly goes, "What time is it?"
It's
I got a good
summer,
one.
man.
I have a
Where
good
do
one. I
we
have a good one.
begin?
Ready? Ready?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Stay inside and cry.
Oh. Oh.
Oh god.
Basically.
Okay.
Hey, I have the excuse of living out in the middle of nowhere. What's your excuse?
Oof.
Oh.
I'm just a sad boy.
Mine is stay inside, too hot.
Okay, mine would be what summer? What sun?
Nice.
Very
What
sad.
spring right now? Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
Minnesota is disgusting at the time.
It was like snowing last week. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yep.
we got 5 to 9 inches where we were. So.
Oh yeah, 3 out of the 5 people here are from Minnesota. They're in Minnesota right now.
Yep.
Oof.
Over Easter weekend, we got hit by basically a big gross.
Generic
That's right.
test in chat says summer, way too fucking hot.
Agreed.
Yes, true.
Agreed.
I think I've got mine.
Mhm.
Watch anime without obligations.
Yay!
I got mine. I'm bored. It's hot.
Oof. Good one.
Yep.
You guys with your actual summer. No, we get summer for like
Oh.
2 days a year.
Oh.
And
We
it's,
get summer for over half the year.
and it's like, it's always the worst days of the year. It's always the day where the school's like, oh, today's the day everyone has to go outside and do gardening. 42 degrees. What are you doing? It's like, and everyone just lies out. But it's like, it's the point where most of our classrooms are mostly made of glass, and it gets too hot to do anything other than lie down on the floor and hope the air is cooler on the floor.
Well, that's right. You guys don't have air conditioning usually,
Nope.
right?
There is
Ooh.
not a
I
single
don't think-
building I can think of that isn't like a fancy new office block that has air conditioning.
People couldn't live where I live without air conditioning. People
just-
didn't live here before there was air conditioning.
You just have
Air
to
conditioning
Drop like
settled the
flies.
West.
You just have to open the windows and hope for the best. It's just
No, if you open the windows here, the humidity kills you. Like, just, you
Look.
can't escape from the heat in the shade. It doesn't work. Because just the air itself is hot.
It's so humid inside anyway, because if you've got like 30 people stuck in a class with no air conditioning,
Yeah.
the sweat just gets everywhere. And also our school is mostly carpeted, and the carpet gets soggy, and then it just
Ooh.
it's just
Oh.
it's not.
Ugh.
It only gets soggy because we spend most of our lunchtime lying on the floor. But let's not go too much of a tangent on that one. It's sticking with the theme. The next one is winter. So
Ooh.
contrast here.
I have it.
Mhm.
It's all year long.
Yep. I can attest.
Oh no.
Oh, Pons is finally here.
Oh.
Oh, you spoiled it.
Well,
Oh.
he's gonna show up in a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If he does.
Hey.
Get him in here.
If he does.
I've got my one for winter now too.
Go ahead.
Watch anime with obligations.
Hey, Quans.
Hello.
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 Oh, I'll turn you up to 200. Welcome.
Oh, jeez.
You are just
Hello.
in time.
A new challenger has entered the ring, and it's me.
Oof.
You've got 20 minutes left to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm surprised I got that far. Hello. I am Clone Commander Pons. I'm the voice actor for Saturn.
You almost forget it.
Even the voice actor forgets Saturn.
Oh, that's why I'm Saturn. SAD.
Oof.
Well,
Yes.
we were just talking about winter, specifically describing winter in 4 words. So, you want to have a think about that? I completely forgot
Peace.
mine in all of that.
Piece of shit snow.
Yeah, all too well.
Okay, mine would
Oh,
be
I got mine.
sometimes snow, mostly rain.
It rains in winter. Wow.
What
I
do you
like
mean it
no
rains
school.
in winter? It's raining now.
What? It snows in winter. Well, at least I don't want to generalize. But...
It snows like twice a year,
It snowed yesterday.
and then it rains the day after and washes it all away.
Mine would probably be, it's still too hot.
Oh, what I would give for that right now. Oh my goodness.
So
I got mine.
You don't want this. It's June to September of over 100 degrees. It's disgusting.
C. Carmen says
God.
summer, but slightly cooler.
I feel you, man. That's how it is.
Oh,
All right,
fun.
here's mine. Too
That's
cold,
right,
unusable roads.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're disgusting. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember last year it was super unlucky. We got a good big old snowstorm the day Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, so I was sitting there all sad.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Like
I
us.
And then the game
salt
got spoiled to
everywhere.
me from a
Oof.
thumbnail of a recommended video. Thanks, YouTube.
Oh.
oof.
I
Maine
just
this year has
dodge
gotten, I
media.
think, 4 nor'easters in the course of a month. So
Oh,
that
boy.
was fun.
Yeah.
Pons, do you have
I remember.
a forward thing? Or?
I like no school.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
works.
That was also 4 words, right?
Okay. Sorry, just conscious of the time. Probably do a few more of these. Well, the next one's probably going to be interesting. Describe Minecraft in 4 words.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh no, I haven't
the
touched this
best
game
game ever.
for like 4 years.
The best game. Oh, that is 4 words.
Bam.
Wow.
I got it. I got it. I got it. Little kids scream loudly.
Oh.
Mom, get out of my room! I'm playing Minecraft.
Get out of my room, I'm playing Minecraft.
Hmm.
Memes.
Any mods such RAM, so see Kerman. Wait, is Minecraft really that resource intensive? I don't
Depends if you're
remember it
playing
being.
with
No.
It
No,
can
no,
be
if
if you
you're
have a bunch of
less
mods.
than-
if you're playing with like a mod pack that has like 120, 200 mods, then yeah, it can.
Java only.
Right.
I think they only allocate up to like 4 gigs though. So
Yeah,
that's
so you can set that manually though. You can change
Yeah.
how much
no,
you
no.
allocate.
Even if you set it more, then I think I don't
Oh,
think
really?
it
It
goes.
caps?
No.
Really?
If you're playing on most mod packs, then you can set it.
Yeah, you
to,
can
like,
get around it.
Oh,
20.
okay.
I just played vanilla.
Maybe I'm thinking vanilla then. Probably.
Yeah, vanilla's.
Yeah, I'm sure
capped,
that
I'm
makes
pretty
makes
sure.
more sense.
All right, I got mine.
Mhm.
Fun if you're imaginative.
Oh.
That's true.
Because,
No,
you
you
know,
just-
if you don't know how to build anything or imagine
Right.
anything, you're probably not going to have a good time.
Just build a big penis. There you go.
That takes some creativity.
That's really imagine. Wow.
Yes.
That's
So that's if you lack imaginativity and you don't know how to build.
like a bucket of lava at the top.
There you go.
That was a classic grief.
Mine would be many projects never finished.
Yeah.
Oof.
That
Same.
sounds like
Yeah.
me in making music.
Because I played quite a bit and I was quite imaginative, but I'd always start a city, and there's a few worlds I got where I built like a town hall and I built like a fire station and we had like all of this stuff, and there's like 1 or 2 houses and it's just then we just built the shops and it's like there's a whole city and there's 2 people living in it.
So, Pokemon?
We mean there's
Yeah.
at least 3.
The Pokemon Center person, the Pokemart clerk, and the gym leader.
Oof.
And that one piece of shit kid in the Poke Center.
Oh.
Yeah, about them.
Who calls your mom gay?
Oh. Oh.
Oof.
No, you.
No, you.
No. That's the best
Uh,
Pokemon. No, you.
I only played.
I'll use my stand ability. No, you.
My 4-letter one would probably be, I don't know if anyone else had these issues as a kid, but how does make server?
Oh.
Yep.
Mine was
Did you ever like dig around in like Hamachi and like go?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember them.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Those
Oh my
days.
goodness. Like wow, what is port forwarding? Right? Like wow, we're
Yeah.
like
Can't
what?
relate.
It's crazy.
Yeah, your friends would be like, "Oh, I know how to make servers. I know how to hack Minecraft."
Yes.
Get into
I'm
the
gonna-
Matrix too deep.
I have a
Yeah.
confession. Is sometimes when I play on servers and do like survival games or whatever, I would use this hacked client that did some really stupid
Oh.
stuff. There was one that would auto crit attacks. You know, like you crit when if you attack while you're in the air, right? So if you turn on auto crit, it would make you do little tiny bunny hops whenever you clicked, and so you do it smallest jump and then hit something, and then you'd be in the air, so you'd crit, and then you'd land right after. So it's as if you weren't in the air at all. So you just auto crit things like that. Or
Oh man.
my favorite was it lets you show the trajectory of projectiles. So if you're playing like that kind of survival games where there's like the hub in the center and you build your bridges across, if you're lucky enough to get a snowball in your starting chest, you just chuck it at someone that's building their bridge and you know where it's going to land. That was the most satisfying. I feel bad to this day. Actually,
Bro,
I don't. It was
I remember there was this one hack client. On some servers, it would let you fly and
Yeah,
also
yeah.
go like super duper duper fast. So I did it on one of my friend's servers, and I set like the speed to like 9999, and it crashed the server.
I mean, I'd imagine.
I
How
crashed
many
the
chunks
server
do
with
you
a
think?
horse once.
With a horse?
We were building a
How?
fire station, and instead of having like fire trucks and stuff, we were like, oh, let's have fire horses. And then we did like custom commands to spawn them in, so you
Rapidash.
can spawn in horses with speed of like 9999. And
Oh boy.
you just got in the horse on the horse. But the thing is, when you got on the horse, they have their own free will and they walk everywhere. And so when
Oh.
you like got it to like we got it outside the pen and then accidentally got off and it was just gone, and then it generated so much sound that the server crashed. Because it just suddenly let it out of its pen and it was just gone. This was on a super flat world as well, so it just
Oh,
Oh boy.
It's gone.
Yeah.
never to be seen again.
I loved it when those super flat worlds would glitch and like a not super flat biome would spawn, and there's just a massive wall.
Oh, right.
I have one more forward thing before we move on, because we've not got that long left. Earth-chan. Describe like
Oh.
Earth-chan in
Ooh.
4 words, just to like tie it back
Oh, boy.
together. Remember
I
why
only
you're
have
here.
Generic, 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 generic.
It's true.
I have one.
I'll
I
think
have
of another one.
Rule 34 does exist.
No, be quiet.
No.
Hold on, no polluting on this
No
server.
pollute.
I
This
work
is a
very hard
fan
as a
fiction
mod to
podcast.
make sure there's no polluting.
Definitely the best girl.
Oof.
Wow.
Bam.
Would you have said that if Rose wasn't here, though?
Probably,
Oof.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I forgot.
Oh.
I forgot she's the voice actor.
I mean, it's not like we're one and the same
Yeah.
yet.
Sexy.
Conspiracy.
Method acting.
And they say
No,
method acting
I
is
feel
bad.
like I'm definitely NASA at this point.
Method acting.
Well, I think all of
I've
our
always been
our
Mercury.
voice actor our voice actors' personalities have mapped the characters. Just look at Pluto.
Tackling children
Yeah,
for Easter eggs.
Before Uhu came in, Pluto was a depressed maniac.
Well, I mean, did that change?
No.
No.
It just manifested in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Okay, I got mine. Must protect no catter.
I don't know.
Cat or no. Okay, I got a real one. Not flat, but donut.
Yes.
I was gonna say not flat but Pringle.
Oh, we're Taurus. We're Saddle Point now.
Oh.
Where? See, mine was super generic, and it overlaps with Pecans a bit. It was just protect at all costs.
Protect.
Good one.
Positive.
My bell, not flat. Anyway, let's now go on to the traditional segment before we run out of time and everyone screams at me.
Oh boy.
This week I've actually had to make an entirely new screen for it because it's just stopped fitting on the page. So when that switches over, you will see how much effort really put into this.
Amazing.
If it does at all, I'll read the chat in the meantime.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Tech's here.
Oh, hey, Tech.
Hey. Hey,
Oh,
Tech.
hello. Lamau.
It's got 12 views. It's not too bad. Does Pons, do you want to read it out this week? I don't know if you've seen it before. We usually have
Where?
someone read it out at the beginning. It's on
Oh,
this.
it's on the stream.
Oh,
If you're
jeez.
not there, I can read it out.
I think I'm there,
All
but
right.
I don't do Twitch often. I'm sorry. I'm in culture.
It's on the. It's on the like.
Yeah, if you
The
watch
video
the stream itself.
I don't know.
But
I
if
started
you
the
guys
stream and
haven't
then
seen
it
it,
started from the beginning.
Ifcom reads it out because we've not got too much time left.
All right, I'll go ahead. Once there was a girl who eats trash that's all gone into the trash. Today there was donuts at the store dumpster, and it's sleep. Raccoons die from hobos and cannibals sometimes. They die. Reincarnated gods strike lolicons that fight raccoons. Extremely agitated, as trap lollies bark gaily at passers-by, everyone eats Fortnite sensually. Sensually, as cats urinate on. Meanwhile, the raccoons wage war on bush-loving Australians. Australians acquire peanut farmers to throw aggressively massive canyendos at raccoons. The emus, which glorify outback heroism, cannibalize cultists in lolicons. They die, sensually. The girl with trash was going from the dumpster and is falling over rubbers when along came Shota NASA holding 40 techs. Butter is buttery. The jelly-filled rubbers were sensually displayed on a counter, which NASA ate sensually. This angered a woe, which caused her to explode. NASA found Fortnite singing Fly Me to Houston, sensually, as he made a big move. They picked new Tex flowers. These flowers were very colorful because they are jelly intoxicated. Meanwhile, emus fight Trash Girl sensually. She was dying from chlamydia. Nearby, emus were looting Commando Cat Girl sensually as the lolicons pillaged tiny little unicorns sensually. Trash Monica excitedly assaults emus, who sensually play Fortnite, Lenny Face. Meanwhile, Commando sung beautifully to at everyone sensually. Catter died sensually from excessive exposure to Lolly Shota Yowie. Nya on one.
Whoa.
That was beautiful.
Kerman says, sounds somewhat like a dwarf portrait artifact description.
It does.
Okay. So, for new on the stream, although I'm sure you probably know, and audience, if you're new, this is a one word at a time story. So everyone says one word and continues it on the best they can.
Oh boy.
Where to start? It's like, how do I continue from this? Flowers.
Honestly, we might just start a new arc.
Is it continued?
Yeah.
Season 2.
Do I
Let's start the sequel.
To be
Start
continued.
with-
Do, 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 do.
Who hasn't been mentioned in a while?
The emu. Oh no, the emu's kind of mentioned.
Yeah, like cat has been mentioned. I guess I'll just start with what we've been talking about recently: music.
Oh boy.
Oof.
All right.
Was.
Playing.
Wait, no, it's not mine. Me.
What's the order?
Now it's you, Incog. It's me, Nick, Scrub, Incog,
Alright.
Pons, and then Com.
Chess.
What?
Okay, music's a physical entity now. Great.
All right. Music's a guy. He's a new character or girl. Doesn't matter.
Trap.
Trap.
Fill in the trap quota that the artists need, apparently.
All right. Fine.
Without.
Music was playing chess without.
Trash.
Don't believe it's your turn.
It's
Sorry.
Com's
Without
turn.
a. Without a.
Without a.
Wait, is the order left to right again, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left to right.
Like, on the display.
Alright.
Music was playing chess without a friend.
Fond?
Friend.
Oh, without a friend.
Because I was
Okay.
gonna say opponent, but you can't say a opponent.
Well, it could have been
Oh.
a or an. That's fine.
No, a friend sounds sadder.
Right.
A fiend.
Without friend. New sentence. The.
Music, I suppose.
Then.
Started.
Two.
Grow.
Sensually.
Oh no.
Into.
Mm, the
Largest.
Oh no. Oh no.
Raccoon.
Full circle.
Tying it back in.
Um. Into the largest raccoon. On
On
on.
on Broadway.
Can be a
Wow.
star.
Okay, so this music has just become a raccoon.
On Broadway.
Alright. New sentence. The
Traitor.
wait. This is getting flavorful.
Traitor.
Traitor.
Wanted.
To
Eat.
Tex.
Sensually.
This is
It
literally
walked right into it.
the sensually game.
There was
Whoever
option.
sets off for the next person to say sensually loses.
Alright, emus. Emus?
Emus.
Wait, is this a new sentence?
Is it a new sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Couldn't.
Could.
defeat.
Tech.
He's too strong.
So
So.
A.
Became. Wait, no, that's not me.
Yeah, it is you.
No, it is you.
Oh, became then.
So A became. Sure.
No, so.
No. Wait.
They be-
Was
Is it
or
they
they?
became?
Is it baby?
Yeah,
or
I thought it was
they.
they.
Oh, I
Right.
heard A. Sorry.
Oh.
Emus couldn't
you're gonna
defeat
change.
Tech, so they became.
Soon.
yes.
Can't beat 'em, join 'em.
Right.
And
They became soon.
TSUN.
Oh, sin. Okay, I got you. And
no, it's not. It's not tech becoming soon. It's the emus.
News.
Just for clarification.
Yes.
Tech is just like shut in the comments.
Yeah, no. We're not talking about you, tech. We're talking about the emus.
Tech, if you want us
That
to
are
become,
attacking you.
if you want yourself to become soon, then let us know and we can work it in.
It's not gonna want to become soon or something.
and made
What?
and made.
Made. Him.
Him refers to tech, right?
Yep.
Him. Eat.
Eat.
Okay.
Have some fun with this one.
Like, what did he say?
Fortnite.
Was it? Fortnite has already been consumed, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Has he?
Wait.
No, that was the game.
No.
Fortnite.
Fortnite was essentially played. Wait.
Yeah, the game Fortnite was
Come on,
essentially
guys.
played.
Oh boy! I've had a
Tech is
gross
just like,
misunderstanding of this part.
Wait, what's the sentence so far?
Emus couldn't defeat Tech, so they became soon and made him eat Fortnite.
Sensually.
Oh, God.
Shit, I lost.
Banned.
Bye-bye.
You get here late and you get banned.
Sensually,
This
but
is a run-on sentence.
come on, bring it back to a wholesome level.
Comma splices.
But
Awesome is appreciated.
we're probably going to have to wrap it up in this sentence because
Oof.
for now, there's always next week. But
Or is there?
We could just end it on a cliffhanger.
But
we could do
find
that.
out next time
I
on
honestly
Soul
have no
Studios
idea what to do with it
podcast.
right now. But find out next
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Ball Z. I
To be
think right Dragon
continued.
Ball works.
Yeah,
No
someone
one-
put the
no
to
one
be
saw that.
continued meme.
Okay.
Where's my roundabout?
Okay. But yeah, it's probably best to end it there. It's been fun having Scrub and Pons on. Hope to see you again
Hello.
soon. Hopefully you enjoyed it
wasn't
enough
here
to
for
come
long.
back.
This is a lot of fun, yeah.
Hope everyone watching enjoyed it, and anyone watching back on the YouTube, we love you as well.
Yes.
Except
Hello, YouTube people.
It's been fun as usual, but with that, it will be all from us this week. Hope you have a good rest of the week. See you again soon. Bye from us at Soul
Bye-bye.
Studios.
Bye.
Bye.
And remember,
sayonara.
Earth Chan is not flat.
Sayonara.